Look. They're gonna say they went to the bathroom.
Y'all went to the bathroom?
Hold up. Now they go sit there.
Y'all ready to pay these bills?
Get him, shorty. Shot town. Shot town. Shot town. Get him, shorty. Shot town. Yeah, y'all shouldn't have walked out. Pay your bill. Yeah, y'all left them keys. Y'all shouldn't have walked out. The world's dumbest criminals. Y'all making us look bad. Yeah, dumb.
Those young ladies dashed and dined and left their keys on the table, showing you how karma always has a way of coming back and biting you on the buttocks. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Zurkadowski here of wearechange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely wild and crazy news to get into today, as of course there's a new spy balloon. There's some new aggressive measures being made by the U.S. military-industrial complex, but is all hope lost? As of course it definitely does look like the situation is nine, but there are some really opportunistic, really awesome things also happening right now as we are going to be doing our best to shift focuses and talk about some of the really incredible things that are happening and shifting our society in an actual positive way. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media organization. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast looks like it's from New Orleans, originally from somewhere on TikTok, as of course it was released on Twitter from @PictureFolder. As the responses here are just as gold as this video footage, highlighting individuals who, of course, wanted to steal from a private restaurant and business and being forced to return because their car keys were still left there. Highlighting how most criminals in our society aren't the most intelligent ones. And what did you expect in our modern day society where almost everything is up for grabs? As it definitely feels like we're sinking on the Titanic here and the politicians are just stealing the silverware. Another thing that's up is balloons, as the U.S. government just came out and announced that there is another high-altitude balloon that was intercepted over the United States that at first they thought was another Chinese spy balloon, but now they're coming out and saying is most likely a hobby balloon, with satirical images like this being released on social media, with a balloon with the writings on it saying, "Wedha Bawum Totare not for spying." I'm going to be canceled for that one. Hey, I'm just reading what it says here, okay? You can't get mad at me. This says the Yemenis are mad at the United States as the United States and the United Kingdom just bombed 18 targets in their country as there has been an escalating of tensions in the region surrounding one of the most important trade routes in this world, as many cargo ships have been routinely attacked by the Houthi rebels in Yemen, with the latest attack being on an American fuel tanker and other international ships that are trying to make their way through the Red Sea. This as the tensions have been dramatically escalating there and are only about to escalate furthermore, especially with the conflict that, of course, is ever expanding in the Middle East. This as a lot of Western countries are preparing for the worst potential outcome here, as authorities in Switzerland are even devising up plans to block specifically social media during plans of, quote, an unlikely event of a power shortage, specifically going after the platforms where people could talk to each other first. This as information and finding out what's going on is best, of course, attained through a civil, honest, transparent, and public discourse, which a lot of federal authorities and centralized controllers really don't like. This as, of course, they grip on to control as best as they can, as perfectly represented by the latest Google AI scandal that, of course, routinely discriminated against white people and, of course, essentially replaced them on their artificial intelligence platform. This as Google just announced that they have been granted access to Reddit, Reddit's content for training its AI models in the future, which is going to make this situation 10 times freaking worse. As, of course, it's important to note here, the people of Reddit aren't... let's just say the best of people, as of course, Reddit members have endured massive amounts of political censorship, as a lot of special interest groups, a lot of governments, a lot of billionaires have used the platform in order to rig their algorithm, rig their platform in order to push some of the biggest, nonsensical, craziest, wokest nonsense on the general public. This as Elon Musk came out and even warned people about Google's artificial intelligence, saying that it will be the heart of every Google product and YouTube, and that after specifically talking to a Google executives, as many problematic prompts are being posted, literally highlighting how the artificial intelligence from one of the world's largest corporations in the world prefers a nuclear apocalypse over the misgendering of Kathleen Jenner, or Bruce Jenner, as some people call that person, as again, a lot of woke nonsense has hijacked our way of living, hijacked our society, and is being promoted everywhere. But at least it definitely does seem like there is some kind of reckoning, some kind of awakening because of this, which we're going to be talking about in a little bit. As of course, you guys could also participate in helping awaken people just by simply checking out thebestpoliticalshirts.com. As of course, we have a lot of really incredible t-shirts. Some of them we can't show you here on screen, highlighting thoughts, ideas, expressions of political opinions that you could express onto other people at the grocery store, at the supermarket, at the bank, at your community gatherings, town halls, PTAs, you name it. These shirts are an amazing, incredible way to get active, get engaged, and do your own lazy form of activism. This is a perfect way to let people know that they're not alone, but also, more importantly, let the Kyles and Karens know that, hey, there's people out there who think differently than what the masses want them to be herded to believe. As, of course, their incredible shirts are all available once you go to thebestpoliticalshirts.com and then you click load more here, and you could be clicking these buttons for a while because we have a lot of really incredible shirts that, of course, I would say are some of the best shirts on the market. Tell me, who has a better shirt game than, of course, thebestpoliticalshirts.com? All these other shirt companies, they do limited runs to fuel sales, to fuel marketing. They do, oh, this shirt's only going to be available for a week. We don't do any of that. All of our shirts are available to you, including the one that I'm wearing right now that reads, "Be the reason someone stops believing in government." As, of course, that could be you. You could spark an idea. You could spark a conversation. You could find like-minded individuals. You could find friends, all by getting a shirt or a hat or socks, you name it. We got it all on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And again, we got a lot of really incredible ones. The latest one that we released this week is Asteroid 2024, reading "Just End It All." This one reads, defund ATF and make it a storefront. Very popular with the neckbeards. Saturated fats over seed oils. Lots of really cool health-conscious people love this shirt as well. Wear it at your local farm, your local community garden, your local Whole Foods, and you will definitely get someone coming up to you and saying something to you. Rich white guy and cop, yeah, you could definitely pull this off in Baltimore if you could survive being able to be in Baltimore. And I can't recommend you guys enough to get the shirt, get active, get engaged. It feels incredible to do so, and be a part of that journey right now by clicking the link down in the description below and getting yourself a shirt that supports this independent media organization on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. This says, of course, I recently made a post that created some very interesting responses that reads, quote, "Imagine what they did when we couldn't see their crimes on our phone," highlighting a situation that I personally captioned that, quote, "It's not that the world is getting worse, it's that we're finally seeing everything they hid from us before," which sparked a conversation with one individual saying, no, it's definitely getting worse. But is it? As of course, we could quote many different statistics. As of course, yeah, for the first time ever, life expectancy is actually going down. But if you look at all the other kind of markers out there, as far as access to information, to education, to health, and when it comes to this larger kind of pushback against nefarious people who, of course, ruled in secrecy for a very long time, I think we are doing better than ever. And I think that situation is highlighted politically, as of course, Donald Trump just won the South Carolina Republican primaries within 3 minutes of the polls closing. This as Trump gave one of his speeches at CPAC recently, as he called himself a proud political dissident, as establishment neoconservative BlackRock-funded individuals like Nikki Haley lost again and somehow still celebrated themselves and still are in this race. How is that possible when this doesn't make sense politically? That's a question that a lot of people are asking themselves. As Trump's victory, whether you like him or hate him, and as you know, we've been, I think, very fair to him compared to all the other media outlets who either love him too much or hate him too much, his victory still represents a victory against BlackRock, State Street, the corporate media establishment that are losing their influence, which is highlighted by their latest victory. Now, you add that to the fact of what people are calling a political renaissance in Latin America, especially with the recent political victories of Javier Milei and Nayib Bukele. We are seeing something that we haven't really seen before, as of course the two took stage at CPAC, gave their speeches where they literally were pushing back against the establishment, as of course these two Latin American leaders are the kind of forefront of a reckoning against the establishment, against the neoconservative, against the neoliberals, representing and pushing ideas that, of course, were previously viewed as fringe. I remember attending CPAC for many years now, even seeing Mr. Breitbart himself there, who I've seen personally scream at the leftist on the lawn during the political conference when it was still held at this old building. And CPAC has absolutely, definitely changed from a RINO, Newt Gingrich, neoconservative, secret society, Dick Cheney-loving, bloodthirsty war hawk conference to a conference now filled with a lot of very what used to be considered radical ideas of individuals saying that they want to cut government and are literally running around with a chainsaw representing that cutting of it. As of course, Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, was also just seen with the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, after his victory in South Carolina. So, of course, was El Salvadorian president, who, according to the Associated Press, got a rock star welcome at CPAC, as there is definitely a shifting of the tides here that is significant, worth noting, worth talking about. And what these two guys are doing and accomplishing in Argentina, in El Salvador, is spectacular. It's amazing, as of course Latin America has been dominated by a lot of leftist, communistic types of governments that, of course, centralized control, take a lot for themselves and screw the rest of their people over. Now we're dealing with more of a kind of decentralized plan, free market plan, focus on liberty and freedom plan that, again, isn't perfect, but is a lot better than what people had previously beforehand. To highlight this cultural shift, Shane Gillis, a comedian who was previously fired from SNL, opened up SNL and was their prime guest, who, of course, gave a very interesting monologue to open up the show, which now people are still trying to cancel him for, which won't work. It used to work before, as of course, it is also very symbolic for this man to be on the stage, to be the main guest, to have everyone talking about him from a show that canceled him before, highlighting how cancel culture is definitely on its way out as more and more people are able to connect the dots, highlight a lot of the hypocrisy as media organizations keep putting out more lies on behalf of the special interest groups that keep getting called out in real time, like this Wired piece detailing how California's climate and environment are getting worse because it's too rainy. As of course, this is the latest article complaining about the climate, which they did the same thing about a few years ago because for them it was too dry. All supposedly done by man-made efforts, which a lot of people are questioning. And they're questioning a lot as things that would previously be secret ops are being finally exposed. As even the New York Times wrote a piece about how the CIA is secretly helping fight Russia, using Ukrainians as their proxies, as CBS News even reported how a majority of their weapons aren't even being received to the people on the front lines who need them most. Now, of course, they retracted their initial reports, but their reports and their accounts and their sources still check out. This, as of course, the situation on the southern border and the hypocrisy that people have to face every single day is being called out in real time and making many Americans think, what in the world is going on here? as the propagandists like Taylor Lorenz are literally being called out face to face in real time, all on social media, with their larger emotional hyperbolic propaganda efforts falling short of the psyops that they once were able to achieve, as many people are now finally starting to question the legality, the nonsense, the bullcrap that they have been put through, all because the system wanted to make a pretty penny off of them, with most of the people saying, enough is enough. And I do think we are dealing with a new way, a new system, a new awakening, a new paradigm that is changing our life, changing it, disrupting it, innovating it for what I believe will be the better. Do you agree with that? Let me know down in the comment section below. Press number 1 if yes, press number 2 if no, down in the comment section down below. And again, one of the most incredible things is to be out there in the wild and to see people wear my shirts. There's been a number of, again, we sold a lot of freaking shirts, and it's amazing seeing them in the wild, seeing people who wear them when I'm just going about my day here. It's incredible. It's awesome to see, but more importantly, it's spreading messages that social media prevents them from being spread. Lots of shirts that we have, we can't even show you here. Check out thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Thank you so much for buying a shirt. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being able to give me your attention. It means the world to me, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.